Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Columbus Blue Jackets return to the ice tonight in the second game of their 5-game road trip. The Jackets, who are winners of 4 of their last 5 games, visit the Calgary Flames. The face-off is at 9:30, and you can catch the action right here on the Fan beginning at 9 o'clock. 11 games in the association tonight, including the Cleveland Cavaliers. They go for their second straight win, hosting the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. Only one top 25 team in college basketball in action tonight, with number 23 Creighton hosting South Dakota. 2 Big Ten teams take the court tonight, with Rutgers hosting Rider, and Indiana welcomes in Alabama A&M. In college football, action tonight with Kent State visiting Ball State, and Toledo hosts Northern Illinois. And in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals have placed quarterback Kyler Murray on injured reserve with a foot injury, meaning he will miss a minimum of 4 more games for the Cardinals. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side, going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. I am Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy Justin Zwick, Reimer behind the glass. Jay-Z, happy Wednesday to you. It's 6:02 p.m. and it is pitch black outside. What's going on?
Yeah, don't you just love that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love daylight savings time when you walk out of work and it's just dark.
Right?
No,
Walk into work and it's dark.
Well, yeah, I know. It's just dark all the time. It's wonderful.
That's
wonderful
crazy.
time of year in Columbus.
How was your day? All right?
Today was okay, yeah. Start of the week was pretty rough. We went up to New Jersey, and a big group of us well represented Nick at Nick's funeral. So that was tough start to the week, but got to walk 9 holes this afternoon, got some fresh air, got outside a little bit, and then we got football this weekend. So, the week's looking up.
Yeah, we got football tonight, too. Got action continue. We got football every night of the week. That's what time it is. As soon as daylight savings clicks in, 7 nights of the week. It's fantastic. We got a great show lined up for you here tonight. We're here for an hour. The Inside Edge will be up at 7 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, the Jackets take on the Flames of Calgary. So all kinds of good stuff. 7 o'clock coverage for us, 9:30 face-off out there in Calgary. Austin Ward, he's going to join us live from the Woody coming up here in our next segment around 6:17. Talk all things Buckeyes with him. We'll hear from Ryan Day coming up here at the bottom of the hour, and then we'll get into the college football pulse a little bit later. Justin, overarching thoughts a few days now removed from Penn State and what we saw on Saturday for the Buckeyes. Wonky first half. We talked about that a lot in the postgame show. Second half clicked in, though, and it looked like the Ohio State that we've gotten to know so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, the second half looked a lot better. First half wasn't terrible. I think we had the ball three drives. We got 3 scores, right? We had 17 points. Just the end of that first half is what kind of really stuck to you a little bit. But
Gotta hold the ball.
Got it. Just hold on the ball there. Let's go have a 2-minute drive. I was just really looking forward to that because we really hadn't had a situation this year where we're up 3 going into halftime. It's like, hey, we got 2 minutes. Let's work this drill. I was really excited to see Julian kind of do that. And then, for that to happen was a bummer. But, the adjustments they made at halftime, playing better in the second half, I think defensively they're able to kind of get the flavor of what Penn State was trying to do, how they were trying to disguise things or just overload things, and they figured that out. So
yeah, they were doing that well. Kind of in the first half, really, Penn State was like, I know you used the term like the overload. They had 8 or 9 guys to one side of the field, and they were pitching it either to Katron Allen or Nick Singleton, and they were doing a nice job. And Ohio State was unreally, for the first time, I feel like all season, was not able to set an edge on defense, right? And you saw a lot of chunk plays kind of in the opening stanza. And then in the second half, I know we were able to talk to Matt Guerrieri during the postgame show, and you asked him, like, hey, is it more changes on for you, or was it more game plan for Penn State? And he was like, it was a combination of both things, what we could do better and then what we keyed on them doing. So it was really for the first time outside of the Texas game, and that seems like it was 5 years ago now at this point, the first time you've had a close game going into the half. And if you were worried about defensive adjustments at all, I would say pump the brakes, because the second 30 was very good for this team.
Yeah, it was. And that probably was to be expected with Penn State, everything they've been through, and then they had a bye week right before, playing us. So they're scouting us, knowing what our weaknesses are, where they think they can attack. So I think that was probably like, hey, what are they going to do? Let's play a base defense and just kind of see what happens here early on. That second drive I didn't love, or this drive in the second half, 7-minute drive. You know, that was one we got to get off the field. You know, in the first half. In the second half, we did. I mean, we didn't give up any points. 14 in the first half. The
60
7
total yards.
Yeah, 7 basically the offense gave to Penn State, in my opinion, you know, at the end of the half there. So defense really held them to 7 in my book, which is pretty darn good. And they figured it out in the second half. And, you know, they had a young quarterback that Grunkenmeyer thought played for the most part pretty well. He didn't lose them that game, or he didn't do anything to lose them that game. I don't know they asked him to do a lot.
Threw a bad interception at the end to Caleb Downs.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? He was throwing that to the back pylon no matter if there was 4 Buckeyes back there. It's fourth down. We're trying to get something happening here. But it was really good. I think that was a game where, you know, we haven't had something like that where it didn't necessarily go our way and it was close, you know, because we've had things not kind of go our way, but we were still up by 14, 17 points. So to have a 3-point game going into halftime, I think it was really cool to see how the guys bounced back from that in the second half. And I think all season long, they've really done a well job of something went bad. They don't let it affect them. They just continue to move on and you know, play really good football. So feeling pretty good. I think health wise, we had a couple guys maybe get banged up there towards the end of that. I think a couple offensive linemen, you know, might have been a little sore going into the week.
It was funny listening to Jim Lachey on the broadcast, and of course you get to listen to him and Paul, and we're so blessed that we get to listen to those guys every weekend, and they are the best in the country at what they do. And it was Jim's, like, both guys go down at the very end of the game. He's like, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be all right.
It was a very offensive lineman thing for him to say, he's up and moving, he's walking off. They'll be okay.
It sounded like me when my daughter falls and she starts going, you'll be fine, honey. Like, I don't even know what happened, but you'll be fine. Yeah, it was hilarious. Hopefully they are. Yeah. Just some little nicks and things like that. But this should be a game where if we go out and do what we can, it should be a lot of reserve guys in the second half. You know, Purdue has not been very good this year. They're on, a 7-game losing streak. They lost their leading rusher.
Day, tons of respect for them.
Well, I mean, yes. Tons. He's had to do that a couple times this year, you know?
Yeah, he has.
Now, I think their team is playing hard. You know, Michigan last week, what was it, 21-16? I mean, they were in there.
Half.
I mean, good first half. Yeah. Michigan kind of had to wear them down there in the second half, but a close game. So he hasn't lost the team, and those kind of teams can be dangerous. You know, they want to come out and fight, but I just think we have too much power, and we're going to go in and do what we're supposed to.
What do you continue to say now about Julian Sayin? Again, his numbers from Saturday, 20 of 23, 4 touchdowns, 316 yards. I know that you and I were having some fun. Like, he threw a couple of really good strikes, but the one to Jeremiah Smith where he didn't even need to break stride may have been his best throw of the year. He was under a lot of duress. The Ohio State offensive line did not give up a sack in this game, but he was pressured 42% of the time. So, I mean, he was getting kind of knocked off his spot. Justin, 3 incompletions and 4 touchdowns, though, against a defense who still had most of their guys and was touted as one of the best defenses in college football in the preseason.
Yeah, it's almost like, is this Chad Powers? Like, he actually did play somewhere else. He feels like he's a 10-year vet, you know, playing here in his first year. He's played 8 games. And, you know, just to say he had 4 touchdowns and 3 incompletions in a Big Ten game, I mean, it's incredible. You know, throwing is awesome. I really like what you were just talking about, moving around in the pocket. When things do break down up front, he's very calm and collected, and he moves himself in the pocket very well, and he keeps his eyes downfield. You know, keeps the play alive. The 3rd and 5 we saw in the first half last week. Yeah. Shook off 2 dudes. I mean, not a ton of shake, but he did enough. Yeah, he did enough. Shake. He goes and picks up the first down. You know, those types of plays give a quarterback a ton of confidence. You know, he already has a ton because he's putting the ball on the money everywhere he throws it. Yeah. But, you know, to be able to help the team out that way, I mean, it gives you a little bit of juice there as a quarterback. And so the more he's able to do that, feel comfortable doing that, that's just going to allow him to be even more comfortable in the pocket because he just knows that he can work with it and get out of it. So he's special. Yeah, and the fact that we get him, you know, like, we get these guys back, you know, a lot of these dudes back next year. It's just insane. You know, coming in this year, it's like, it's going to be, you know, we'll see how this year goes, but, you know, we're going to have them back next year.
Well, to your point on that, I want to go back to the beginning of the season real quick. And even before the Texas game, right? And you and I sat here right before the season, and we're talking about, like, this team is going to be so different in the month of November than what it's going to look like right now. So don't take away maybe too much from this opening 2-3 games on the schedule. And I think fairly confidently you can say that with this Ohio State team that is a much different animal than what we saw at the beginning of the season. And you're starting to see Julian now play with confidence. You're starting to, and really he's been doing this all year, but you start stacking games.
Well, they're asking him to do more now, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, he has a couple games over 300 yards. Now, we only threw it 23 times against Penn State, but that's all we needed to because, we had a bunch of deep balls and, things were going well in the second half. But they're kind of unleashing him. And I think early on, it's like, all right, let's just hold back here. I kind of want to ask Ryan Day, like, well, what was the quarterback competition like? Because, I mean, it went kind of deep into the, camp. And we're like, oh, what's going to happen? It's really close. And, I think Lincoln is a good player, but to see what Julian's done, it's just like, oh, my gosh, no quarterback in the country is doing that.
Jay-Z's is completing 81% of his passes this year, and he's got 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 3 picks. He's only taken 3 sacks.
And you got guys who have been in college for like 5 years doing the same thing he's doing, and he's started 8 games, so it's really special. But yeah, it's scary to think, what down the road may look like as they continue to just get a better fit. And you got to also think Brian Hartline's first year really calling plays, so everybody, just the players on the field, but coaches calling plays and just being in different situations, they're all going to get better and get a better feel for what they want to do. So it's kind of scary hours. It's, getting into November, it's the big time of year to be playing your best ball, and I think these guys are.
The Heisman push is on, too, because this weekend from Ohio State, both pushing Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin for Heisman campaigns. Not surprising because
didn't they both like post the other one?
Yeah, of course. Good teammates.
I love it. Yeah,
really, really good teammates. Those two guys, absolutely. Jeremiah Smith, a great day too, as well with Carnell Tate. They go as the quarterback goes, and the quarterback's playing well. It's all going very well at the moment. Austin Ward, he's going to join us live from the Woody coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Tough, reliable, and ready to work. You were born that way. Kubota is built that way. Our entire ag lineup, featuring versatile tractors and hay tools, powerful skid steer loaders, and the rugged Sidekick utility vehicle, is designed with the engine of a Kubota and the heart of a farmer. Visit KubotaUSA.com to find a dealer near you.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Hey Buckeyes, I'm John Chabot with Surest, a digital-first health plan designed to make healthcare simple and affordable right here in Ohio. At Surest, we believe healthy small businesses are vital to our economy. That's why we're ready to give your small business a VIP opportunity through our small business sweepstakes. Winners will be recognized on the sideline at an Ohio State home football game. To enter, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Surest. That's SUREST. Surest, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a matchup with Purdue Fort Wayne. Not real Purdue, imitation Purdue.
Live fan coverage starts Friday night at 5:30, right after Common Man and Timmy.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, but windy and warm and dry on this Wednesday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight, we'll drop back down to the mid-30s with clearing skies and decreasing winds. And after a cool start, a pleasant finish on Thursday. Plenty of sunshine, light winds back in the mid to upper 50s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked into the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here on a Wednesday. Before we get to Austin, I'll let you know, big believer in saying thank you when something actually works. Thank you, Awaken 180. And they're saying thank you back to Columbus with $500 off every new program right now through Thanksgiving. Awaken 180, it works now is the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self when you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter with a medication-free solution for weight loss online at Awaken180weightloss.com as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Checking with our great friend. He is live over at the Woody. He is Austin Ward. Austin, what does the scoreboard read as we're now well into the month of November? Purdue on tap this weekend, buddy.
We are looking at the 2-minute warning of period 17. So a little bit deeper into practice for Purdue on this Wednesday night than they might have been or they were last week for Penn State. This is not a talent equated, not a matchup game, but kudos to Ryan Day and Quinn Temple and everybody involved for making sure it's extra dark and extra windy out here at the Woody right now, really getting you those authentic West Lafayette vibes to get ready. So
100%.
Not a lot of crowd noise, but a lot of wind for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird place to go. You know, I've been out there before. I know that you've been out there. Justin, you've been there before. It's a weird place. If you're making the trek over to Ross-Ade Stadium, best of luck to you. Should be fine. Plenty of tailgating options and seating available on Saturday afternoon. Austin, what was your biggest takeaway on Saturday for the Buckeyes' 38-14? Pretty demonstrative victory over Penn State. Was it the offense and the way that they started to roll, or was it the second half defensive adjustments that were made, limiting the Nittany Lions to only 60 yards in the final 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's kind of more of a vibe, Beamer, just the way that Ohio State responded to, you know, one of the more adverse situations they've faced all year, which is really putting it into, you know, it takes a different kind of perspective. They were leading by 3 at halftime, and Ohio State felt like they were down by 21. I know, you know, Ryan Day made that point after the game on Saturday night, but, you know, they haven't really been in close games. They certainly treated Penn State like it was going to be one of those marquee matchups that it was built up to be in the offseason. And then they got into a game where it could have got wonky, that they could have felt the pressure. They could have, you know, dropped off their level of execution. And instead you saw, you know, immediate adjustments on offense. I think it's you know, it's pretty cool when Ryan Day pulls the curtain back, and he talked yesterday about Well, they installed the route to Carnell Tate that they ran on the second play of the third quarter in the locker room at halftime. Like so you can only do that a couple of times a year, but that's twice now, 2 games in a row where Carnell Tate has had to go run a route that he had not repped in practice this year or ever out of that specific formation. He did that at Wisconsin, scored a touchdown, and then he did that on Saturday against Penn State and got the big game that sort of like big game that signaled that game was probably going to be over very soon. So I think it is the fact that they came out and they put their boot on the throat of Penn State when it could have been a different way. You could have given them some hope and some optimism after that turnover right before halftime. They did not, and then it was as dominant as you would have expected down the stretch, and we'll see how that carries over because these next couple of weeks, it is still now more than ever true that it is about Ohio State. They have Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers. It's a 29.5 point spread on Saturday. Can they remain as focused as they have been and not get caught looking ahead to what they have in the Big House or potentially in Indianapolis the week after that?
Austin, we had a couple offensive linemen kind of get banged up there towards the end of the game on Saturday against Penn State. Have you heard anything? I'm hoping just some, nicks and bumps and bruises. What's that report? And then what do you see this game being like? I mean, they've slowed the game down. They're playing like 1.5, 2 games less than everybody else in the country. A game against Purdue, even, Rutgers or UCLA, I guess we could use this for the rest of November. Do you see them continuing to just slowly go and playing the starters into, the third quarter? Or is it something where, hey, we can get them less reps and just go fast in the first half, blow them out, and then get, the second team in type thing?
Yeah, it might be contingent on the first part of what you asked, Jay-Z, and we'll see coming off the field. It's a little bit of a shell game. We anticipated and thought that there might be an opportunity for more rotation and reps for Josh Padilla at right guard, and that did not happen last week, which is a tribute to Tegra Shabola, taking the challenge that he was issued as he came off the field last Wednesday night right here at the Woody. He was one of the last players to leave the field, and that's not always been the case with Tegra. So I certainly took note of that. He had a really good game, but then he kind of left a little bit gingerly up the tunnel on Saturday. It looked like both he, Luke Montgomery, and then Josh Padilla as well seemed to be having some sort of lower leg concerns. Ryan Day, he keeps those injury situations tight to the vest. One guy out of the 3 he said was going to be monitored throughout the week, and 2 they thought would be ready to go for practice last night and tonight. We're going to get a look at them in about 15 minutes or so as they come off the field. It sounded to me the way that he described it, and then if you're piecing together the context clues, that he said they would be going full steam ahead into the weekend, which would lead me to believe that Luke Montgomery and Tegra Shabola would be the 2. That would be full steam. That would be full health for Ohio State. And the fact that Josh Padilla did not really get as many opportunities as we would have anticipated. Maybe the injury he picked up was early and potentially more severe. I don't know that. I'm just piecing together the tea leaves, and then we're going to try and do some more of that here shortly as the Buckeyes wrap up practice in a couple minutes.
He is Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Austin, Ohio State officially putting out the Heisman campaigns for Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith. What does this, I mean, listen, I don't think their game plan changes depending on the push and the narrative that they want these guys to win the Heisman or be represented in New York City. But what does that do for them, if anything, when you're talking about potentially 2 Heisman finalists on this team?
Yeah, I know that I'm aware that there has been pushback, criticism, skepticism that Ohio State doesn't support its Heisman Trophy candidates enough in the past. They're doing that now, but I've never really bought into that personally. I've been a voter for these awards for a long time. I don't like my email inbox being blown up by SIDs around the country personally, and that makes me more skeptical of those candidates. If I'm just speaking for myself, but when it comes to Ohio State, when it comes to Justin Fields not winning the Heisman, or Dwayne Haskins not winning the Heisman, or C.J. Stroud not winning the Heisman, the last example, most specifically with Stroud, the reason that he didn't was because he didn't beat Michigan and that they didn't win a Big Ten championship. And those games at the end of the year are the lasting impression for the voters, more so than websites, more so than sending out trinkets and swag across the country. In Ohio State, let's be honest, their players are held to the highest standard in the country. and people will look for any reason to vote for somebody else. And for CJ, the last time that this came up, that was because, through whether he was sick or not, or whether there was somebody stealing the signals or not, he didn't win the game, and the voters forgot about him by the time that the last ballots were cast. So, for Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith, does it change anything in terms of winning over voters? I don't think so. I think everyone is very much aware that Jeremiah Smith is the best football player in America, and Julian Sayin is the quarterback of the number one undefeated team in the country, and he's putting up stats that we've never seen before. People don't need to be made aware of that and the way that they're going to be judged. And the ultimate, I think Julian Sayin, he is now the gambling odds-on favorite.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's the strongest candidate for Ohio State because he's going to benefit from all the times that Jeremiah Smith doesn't make a play for him and Carnell Tate does. That helps Julian Sayin. Every time Jeremiah Smith makes a play, like the one-handed insane catch that he made on Saturday, well, that also helps Julian Sayin. And I think when you're just taking the raw counting stats, Julian Sayin is going to have some that are out of this world, and quarterbacks are naturally inclined to get these votes anyway. But whether it's JJ, whether it's Julian, it's going to come down to whether they win in the Big House, and it may be a head-to-head showdown with Fernando Mendoza the following week in Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game with a Heisman Trophy and a Big Ten championship on the line. We'll see, but they are going to have to win those two games, in my opinion, to get their hands on that statue. But every little bit will help. Especially because the SEC propaganda machine will probably find somebody else to prop up by then as well.
No doubt about that. Hopefully a big weekend for both those guys coming up. A lot of Ohio State fans probably remember when we went out to Purdue and didn't have such a great night. Any worries there going out at a 1 p.m. Kickoff in Purdue?
There shouldn't be. I think that, it's better than showing up there at night and then having tornado conditions and trash cans flying around like the 2018 trip. And also this Purdue team does not have Rondale Moore. So I think that, there's a lot of respect for Barry Odom, and they have played hard in a lot of games. And I think that the fact that Purdue just pushed Michigan into the fourth quarter, whether that was a product of their own play or some ineptitude on Michigan's part, doesn't really matter. I think that helps get Ohio State's attention. You're cutting on film, and the last time that this opponent you're playing this week was on the field was against your biggest rival, who you play at the end of the month. So I think Ohio State's probably sitting up just a little bit straighter. I think that, the don't get bored mentality has certainly they've won the fight against complacency through 8 games. They have to do it 3 more times before they get into Michigan, where there's not going to be any sense of that at all for this team. But it's never fun to go there. The weather has fluctuated, and if Byrne would stop talking about the forecast, it would probably help, because every time he opens his mouth, the chance of precipitation goes up and the temperature goes down. I know that it's a billion% chance of gray skies, but I also think that it is highly likely that Ohio State will put its best foot forward here and then want to get this game over with as quickly as possible.
Has Liberty decided if she wants to go to the game or not?
She wanted to go, Beamer, but then got overruled. I guess not me. I'm not in charge of her social calendar, but her cousin Charlotte has a sleepover on Friday night, so the girls backed out of the trip entirely. So now I just
no Carmel for them.
No Carmel by the sea out there, and now, because I was like, well, that's gonna be nice. I can go back to the hotel on Saturday night. Maybe we can watch some games. Swing over to Daredevil, Sun King. No, now it's like I don't even get to just kick the feet up a little bit after a 1 o'clock game. I'm just going to have to drive all the way back on Saturday night. But I would never complain about any opportunity to cover Ohio State anywhere, because I'm not a press box snob anymore. I just like everywhere I go, and I make the best of every situation. And don't even laugh at that. That's not a joke. I'm deadly serious.
Hey, before we get you out of here, thanks for the spotted cow on Sunday, and thanks for the hat. Appreciate it.
Well, you earned the hat.
Yeah, that was a butt woman.
The beer was on me.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Have a great night over at the Woody, and we will check in again soon, all right?
You got it, guys. See ya.
There he goes. Austin Ward, live at the Woody. We got player availability, Ryan Day, lightning round coming up here in just a couple of minutes over there. How can Julian Sayin continue to grow here in the final month of the season? Ryan Day, he's going to tell you coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Rare banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
James Peoples here, running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to the Buckeye Show.
You know, my guy Justin Zwick this evening. Usually we would check in with Joshua Perry at this time. Joshua, busy this evening. Middle school choir concert. They had other obligations. Maybe we'll try track him down for tomorrow. Know that he's a busy guy, so he's got stuff going on. Instead, let's listen to some Ryan Day, shall we? Yesterday, obviously, having a press conference from over at the Woody before his lightning round coming up here tonight. And where does Julian Sayin go from here? I mean, I don't know if I need to read the numbers to you again, but this year, 176 for 218, 80.7% completion percentage, 2188 yards category. That is 10 yards a pop, by the way, if you're keeping count. At home. It's a first time every single time he makes a completion. 23 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, only taking 3 sacks. You're the quarterback on this show.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
If you're diagnosing where he goes from here, where do you see where he can improve at?
To the NFL?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough question because the kid is coming out of each game 80% completion. I mean, you're doing that. That's such a high clip. I don't think people really understand how hard that is. We've talked about it many weeks. You know, having 3 incompletions in a day in an actual game, and the ball not hitting the ground. It's just, I mean, you just don't see it.
2 of them were throwaways, and
I know exactly.
One of them was behind Brandon Ennis.
Yeah.
That was the one. I mean, I know that there were 3 incomplete passes.
That was the
in the
one
game.
like he was actually trying to complete.
Yes,
that was incomplete.
That was the only
one. Because the other 2 were just, hey, we're getting rid of the ball. Don't take a sack. You know, smart QB play. So, yeah, I mean, it's even crazier if you think of it that way. You know, so I just don't know. He's going to start calling his own plays or just, you know, whatever it is. I don't know where the next step is because it seems
buster.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. The safety blitzes, you hit the seam, you know. But it's been very just impressive all year long. I don't know where he gets better, if that makes sense, because his pocket presence is awesome. He throws the ball really well. His accuracy's out of this world. Great decision making. I mean, every box that you would want a quarterback to check, he's checking them.
Especially as a young kid, right?
Yes. I mean, and that's the most amazing part for a guy who's just starting his first year in college. I mean, he's probably, 19 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe.
19 or 20.
Yeah, somewhere around there. For him to come out here and be on that stage, and, you know, it's really been nice the way they've been able to bring him along. You know, they didn't have to throw him into the fire right away and, maybe get over his skis a little bit. So I think that's probably helped him. But even when they weren't asking him to do a lot, he was still putting the ball in the money and making the right decisions. So, I mean, it's just been really fun to watch. And it's, as an old quarterback, I know how hard that is, So it's just, I'm very impressed by him. And I don't, he's going to put on some weight. He's going to continue to, grow and mature. And, who knows what this looks like, down the road.
Sure.
Because it's really, really, really good right now.
It is really good. Here was Ryan Day. He was asked about this yesterday, that same question. Where can Julian Sayin improve at? Where can he go from here? And here was his answer.
Well, it just can't be a play or two or, a half a season. It's got to be consistent, And so you look at, quarterbacks in college, you look at quarterbacks in the NFL, they can have a good game, a good half a season, a good season, but can they continually do it over time as teams start to look at, your strengths, your weaknesses, and all those types of things. And then, obviously play big in big moments. So he's just getting started, which is very exciting for all of us, as you know. I mean, if you're an offensive player right now, I mean, to know that Julian's back there with the ball coming out of his hands quickly and the confidence and decision making, like it's obviously exciting to be around that. Not only for right now, but into the future. And he's handled that well and produced at a high level up to this point. But he knows, again, this is about accomplishing goals as a team, and he would tell you the same thing.
So I think to answer that question, when you said, the NFL, I think that was very much in Ryan Day's mind when he was answering that. Like, you look at college quarterbacks, sure, you can have a good game. You can have a good half of a season. You could have a good full season. Like, how do you avoid the downturn? Yeah. And I think with what you're seeing in the quarterback play right now at Ohio State out of Julian Sayin is that's got to be their biggest task. Through Billy Fessler and Keenan Bailey and Brian Hartline and Ryan Day, how do we avoid you hitting a slump, right? Yeah. And then if you are in a slump, how do you respond and how do you get out of it? Because we've yet to see that challenge yet this season. I don't know if we're going to see it coming up here this week against Purdue. I don't know what we're going to see in a couple of weeks against UCLA. Obviously, in the Big House at the very end of the month, that's going to be a different challenge. Michigan's defense looks pretty good. They're fast, they're physical, they're violent. Weather conditions, it's been pretty good conditions all year long, right? Like, that's another thing that we don't know if this Ohio State, this pass-first offense, and I know that they're trying to really establish the run, especially in those short yardage situations, but a pass-first offense in the wind, in the rain, it can get wonky in a hurry.
November gets a little cold. He's he's a Cali kid. Maybe the cold gets to him a little bit. Those are things that we'll see. And I think Ryan's, a lot of quarterbacks can do, have a good half of a season. Like, that's about where we're at right now, right? We're about halfway. I mean, with all the playoff games, if we were to make it all the way,
I think it's right.
So it's like almost right in the middle. So I think there's that's probably a lot of talking points for them. Like, hey, we're great up to week 8, but we got all these other weeks. We got to continue to get this going. So they're, probably leaning on that a little bit. Just, can you keep this up? Come out and prove it, you know, kind of give him that little fire of, just going out and be like, this isn't a fluke. This is who I am, and this is what's going to happen every time I step on the field.
Here was Ryan Day's thoughts on Ross-Ade Stadium and what it was like in 2018.
I mean, I was part of the 18 team, so I know what that was like, and, they have a lot of pride in that program. I think Barry Odom is a very, very good coach. These guys are well coached, and he is a good man and a good football coach, and I know he's got a good staff there, so put the film on and watch him play last week. And so, we know we have to, continue to get better this week. We have to bring it at 1:00 on Saturday. And I don't know if there's anything in particular other than Purdue is a program that has a lot of pride. And it's not going to be any different when we play these guys on Saturday.
I mean, this team has not strayed off track really at all. What game was it the Minnesota game, Justin, where he was kind of lighting into them? A little bit after the game, and that was a homecoming game. That was a night game, and you won. I don't even remember the score of that game, but it was pretty comfortable at the end. And he was like, "I thought guys were,
we missed this, we did this."
Yeah, like since that has happened, you really haven't seen them play with their food much. Like, it's go out, you execute. You're working hard all week to get to Saturday and your game time, and when they get to their game time, they are very sharp.
And I think the last couple of weeks, we've seen not a different Ryan Day, but maybe not that same fiery, like, let me pick on one thing that happened in this game and get after it. I think he's like, realizing, all right, these guys are buying in. I don't need to be that way right now. We're winning, we're doing what we want to do, and we're playing pretty good football. So, maybe they're bought in and realizing, what I've been trying to do all year long. And, we'll see. These next few games, there might be a chance for him to come out and be a little fiery about some things if they don't go,
Yes.
100% correct. So maybe he transfers back into that leading up into Michigan. But, the team is answering everything. Both sides of the ball, special teams, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But the big parts are looking really good. And these guys just seem like they're hungry and wanting to prove not everybody wrong, because everybody has them as number one, but you still hear the chirping, who have they played, blah, 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 that sort of stuff. And so I think they want to go out and show everybody every week.
What about the explosives on Saturday against Penn State? Here was Ryan Day breaking those down.
Well, that one in particular, we hadn't practiced all week. We put that in at halftime. So I give the players a lot of credit for being able to run a play that we hadn't practiced. That play in that formation probably ever. But we felt like, based on what we were seeing, that we were going to do it. It was a concept that we work in preseason, we work in the spring, and we felt like there was a look that we were getting that we felt we could take advantage of, and so we decided to put that in at halftime and called it the second play of the second half. And when we got kind of what we wanted pre-snap, we knew what was going on, and so. Yeah, it was. You can drop a million plays, but they have to go put it on the field. And Carnell ran a tremendous route, stuck him, and you could see the angle. And job well done. But yeah, I mean that is the fun part of coaching. When you kind of put something together and it goes exactly the way you thought it would go. Really, the first down play was the same way. We caught man coverage. I thought the tight ends did a nice job of going out in the 9, inserting in, selling the run, and then that was a gain of 14. Against the right look. Second play, we got the look we wanted, and we hit it, and that was just like one of those things where you got the right play. It doesn't always work that way. And so we talk a lot of times with the quarterback is, when it's right, we got to make it. When it isn't, you got to make the quarterback, or you got to make the coaches look right, because it doesn't always work that way. You got to manage the play. That one, it all worked out the right way, but you got to credit, Julian. Protection was great, and putting a play on the field that we hadn't practiced.
I mean, that play was spectacular, and he's talking about Carnell Tate's basically game ender on Saturday. The fact that they put that in at halftime, and if you go back and you rewatch the broadcast, like you can audibly hear Ryan Day when the ball is yet to be released from Julian Sayin. Got him. Yeah,
that's the best. I know there wasn't any like laughing or smirking going on at halftime, but you wonder if the coach was like, "We're going to put this play in."
Dagger
he is playing us man. There's nobody else back there. Carnell's going to beat this guy. Like, they were like rubbing their hands like, yeah.
That had to feel nice.
That had to feel good. Like, yeah, we see what you're doing, and we are going to go ahead and score on you.
Yeah, you've decided the first drive of the game to not double up Jeremiah Smith and play single on him. Now you're deciding to play single on Carnell Tate.
Watch that play, Carnell's like, oh, who else is back? No, there's nobody else back there.
Great.
Well, all right.
This is terrific for me. This is fantastic. Thank you, Julian, for the ball. Thank you, Brian and Ryan.
It was great protection. He got to sit back there, and, he had nothing in front of him. And, as soon as, if he's even, he's leaving, and poof. You put that ball up there, is perfect.
The initial college football playoff rankings, they were released last night. Reimer will tell you about those in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Prepare your home for fall with Logan Services. Heating service calls are just $79. Furnace tune-ups are also only $79. And plumbing service calls are now just $79. Scheduling online is quick and easy. So visit our website now to book your appointment. A system for every home and budget with fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
As a former pro athlete, confidence has always been key for me on and off the field. And that's why I chose CAP for my NeoGraft treatment. They've got a great reputation. After doing my research, I knew I could trust the team right here in town. The staff was professional, answered every question, and made the whole process smooth and stress-free. The results are natural. It fit my busy schedule, and I already feel more confident. Caps made it easy, judgment-free, and honestly, one of the best decisions I've made. Visit Caps today at experiencecaps.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Toyota gives you more electrified hybrid choices than anyone else, including the stylish new Corolla, a name synonymous with Toyota quality and dependability, the elegant new Toyota Crown Signia, and the latest edition of the legendary 4Runner. Toyota's extensive lineup also includes battery EVs like the tech-savvy all-electric BZ4X. And of course, the iconic Prius, the hybrid that started it all. That's the power of choice. From Toyota, let's go places.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always, trusted. Visit caresource.com.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. With Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team. That's not all. Our experienced team provides insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the JETS. The football gods are weeping.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick at 1.
Your home of the Browns, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And we here on the Buckeye Show, brought to you by our great friends over at CareSource and United Healthcare. Reimer, before we get into the college football playoff talk, I did see this come down from Brian Fisher, kind of covers everything like college football business. I believe he works for Sports Illustrated. If you were wondering the first weekend without ESPN and the YouTube TV and how kind of crazy that was here this weekend. And my stepdad's a very diehard Notre Dame fan, right? And needs to watch them every weekend. And he's got a Saturday morning ritual. Like he gets up, he washes his truck, he goes, he gets some breakfast. Like he does the same thing every Saturday during the college football season. And he converted to YouTube TV this spring or a couple of winters ago, whenever it was. And so I told him I think it was Friday night, I'm like, hey, man, what are you going to do for the game tomorrow? Notre Dame plays on ESPN. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, but no. I'm breaking the news to you that you're not going to be able to watch your team. He was like, well, that can't happen. So he went and he bought like the ESPN Plus deal, and he like
so they got somebody.
Yeah, charge it to win it. Like, he said, I got to do it. Like whatever the cost is, I've got to do it. I've got to watch my Notre Dame team. And it was very weird on Saturday getting home and not having the ESPN deals to be able to watch because I don't have ESPN Plus. Like I've got the Hulu Plus and Disney, but I should probably just bundle it. But again, this comes from Brian Fisher. ESPN's College Game Day had 2.5 million viewers. The show prior to the Disney deal expiring with YouTube TV. After that deal went through a couple of Saturdays ago, the show dropped from 2.5 million down to 2 million. That's a pretty significant drop
huge.
off in viewers. And then he went on to say matchup dependent, but SEC on ABC TV windows prior to the YouTube TV spat had 6.6 million, 7.8 million, and 6.8 or 7.8 and 6.8 million viewers across those three windows that ABC, ESPN run the SEC deal. After 4.5 million, which is a drop off of 2.1 million viewers, 7.8 to 7.8, nothing happened at the 3:30 window. 6.8 million viewers in the evening window, down to 4.8. That is a monster drop off in the actual viewership. And I don't know if that, again, matchup dependent, like what he said, but that's enough for the two sides, I believe, to probably be having some really big talks here this week.
That's wild. I mean,
That's
a lot. And usually those night games are, I imagine, decent numbers because it's night. Everybody just kind of wants to see the big game at night.
Yeah, and
it's usually a ranked matchup.
Yeah,
too.
it's usually a ranked matchup.
And if I'm correct, I don't have ESPN Plus, but you could not get ABC on ESPN Plus because that's a local channel, right? And ESPN Plus doesn't carry that. And with the YouTube TV spat that they're in with Disney, your local ABC channel went away as well. So you couldn't watch Saturday Night Football, and then you couldn't watch Monday Night Football because that was an ABC game as well. And even if you bought ESPN Plus, you still were not able to get your local ABC
What
back.
is happening?
I don't know.
Just give us TV back.
I tried to watch Tennessee, Oklahoma, and I went through the ESPN app on my TV, and it was just saying, like, you don't have this.
You can't do it.
You can't watch it.
You got to get it. Yeah. You got to get an antenna.
You got to get the antenna or their deal in the ESPN app. Like, I already have the ESPN Plus, but, like, there's the more thing that they're pushing
Is
right
that the
now.
unlimited one or something?
I think so, yes, so that you can
There's
watch
always
it that way.
I guess there always is an option.
There's always something.
It's going to have to cost you, though. Reimer, tell us about the playoff rankings.
Yeah, so the playoff rankings came out, and of course, yours truly, Ohio State Buckeyes, are number one. Right behind them is Indiana, and then 4 SEC schools with Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss to round out the top 6 there. BYU 7, Texas Tech 8. That's going to be a fun game this weekend. And then you got Oregon and Notre Dame to round out the top 10. What are your guys' some immediate reactions from the rankings?
Justin, I know you and me were talking about this before the program started. I think the biggest reaction that I had was Notre Dame at number 10. Notre Dame opened up their season. They had Miami and Texas A&M right out of the gates. They lost to Miami by 3 points, and you lost to Texas A&M at home by 1. They have played zero anybody since those 2 games. So they haven't really won. They didn't look fantastic against Boston College on Saturday. They got Navy coming up here this weekend and then go back to playing nobody for the rest of the season. They're pretty much avoiding disaster from Notre Dame. Like, you could use almost Sharpie to put them into the college football playoff. 2 biggest games on the season, lost, win the rest, and Notre Dame
It's
is
amazing, isn't it? I know. I kind of like it because I like the good matchups, the big matchups early in the season. I think that's fun. So I don't want you to get killed if you lose those. But when they lost those first 2 and you look at the rest of their schedule, like, what? Why would they be in the playoff?
Yeah.
I mean, unless some of these teams on their schedule went out and just had undefeated seasons or something along those lines, but they're not. They're all pretty bad. And, I think it's just it's the brand, right? They were in the championship game last year. And they are, I imagine, playing a little bit better now. Everybody is, from the start of the season to now. But that one surprised me when I saw it. I thought they'd be, maybe lower teens.
I did too. And I was kind of pumped that the committee put Iowa where they did. Iowa deserves to be ranked, and I'm glad that they did, because we had all this talk about Washington not being in the top 25, and maybe the AP voters knew that Washington were frauds, and they said, we don't trust them that much. But it should be a good game this weekend. Oregon has to go to Iowa City and play the Hawkeyes this weekend, so that should be pretty good. But all in all, I mean, it's fine. It's crazy to me that Tennessee is still ranked in the AP or the top 25 college football playoff. They're 6-3. They've lost all 3 games to teams who are above 500. They have not beat a single team on their schedule who is above 500. So how are they ranked?
It just means more in the SEC.
I guess so. They need something to prop them up down there. But that's a pretty wild thing.
I think overall they did a decent job, though.
Yeah, they did pretty good.
And I think the Big Ten is well represented in that top 25.
And again, none of this matters It's going to figure itself out. It always figures itself out.
What did Ryan say? Whatever.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the play? What are your thoughts? Are you going to watch tonight?
No, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
It's good for the fans.
It is. Yeah,
we just got to keep winning because if we don't, it's all going to change.
Yeah, we got something to yell about though. Reimer, what else?
I'm going to put my hand up on something. What I said in the Power 5 last week about Texas was very dumb. Saying that like they were one of the top 5 storylines. Like, yeah, they started slow. And it was
right in the thick of it now.
But I think how it came off of me was putting it in the Penn State category like you did. And that is 100% not the case.
Yeah.
And I love that it's looking better for Ohio State. So I was kind of giving them some bulletin board material.
Yeah, I mean,
to play better.
Yeah, Penn State is obviously, I think, the storyline of for this season. But you tried to lop them in. Tried to lob Texas in there, but they're up to number 11.
That's how it came off, but that's not what I was intending at all.
Yeah, I understand that. By the way, too, before we get out of here, I did see this, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that we know Ohio State plays with a slow pace, and it obviously has paid off for them. Paid off last year, and I think it's going to pay off this year. This was a crazy stat, all right? Tennessee has played 192 more defensive snaps than Ohio State has this year. You know how many snaps and offensive plays Penn State ran on Saturday and what the average is during a football game? 60. You do the quick math on that. Tennessee's defense has played 3 more games of football snap-wise than what Ohio State has.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean,
and when you break it down like that, like, okay, you're really saving yourself for the playoffs and saving wear and tear. And when you hear a stat like that, it's just mind explosion.
It is, but you got to have the team you can do that with, right? And
they do.
And luckily we do, because I think that will come into play down the road.
Justin, had a great time with you here this evening. I'll look forward to doing the post-game show with you in a couple of weeks. I know you're out the next couple, right?
Well, I'm here Saturday, but and then I'm out.
All right, that sounds good. I'll talk to you on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll talk to you on Saturday.
All right, everybody have an awesome night. The Inside Edge is up next on The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.